All right, got a question on some limitations of showing leads or contacts, opportunities to certain people on the team. Inside of some of the settings, essentially you have kind of two ways to do some things. You can make it to where inside of a contact or opportunity, whoever is assigned to the record, so the owner or follower, can view those contacts only and no other contacts that they do not have assigned or followed to them. Same thing with the opportunity. That's one thing you can turn on so that they only view their items. However, obviously, you would need to have somebody that is assigning the contacts that has access to all, or some type of default automation assigning to the correct or appropriate person. Um, Another option is to simply create smart lists that show exactly what you want for that person, and then share that smart list with them and tell them, hey, just run off of the smart list that I've created for you, work our sales process, only worry about those that are in there. Could they search or view other ones? Yeah, they absolutely could. Just depends on how locked down you want or need. And then another question that came with this one was, what's the difference between contacts and opportunities? Contact, typically you'll have a person, a lead, a seller in here. And then once you get to the point of making an offer, that's where I would say you should create an opportunity. So inside of your contacts area, we break down everything with smart lists, run our sales process from new lead to needs a response. Next contact date is, today, or we missed it and it's in the past. If we've set appointments, things of that nature are all things we're working through the smart list across on the contacts area. You can see here I've got my next contacts dates, and if something is in the past or future, I can see it really quickly. I can set up smart lists based on this so that I'm working those that are today's date. Any activities, so calls, text, emails, we can see things that have happened recently here. And then inside of the contact itself, we use these like next actions to kind of run us through the sales process. And in doing so, between next action and next contact, that stuff updates here on our sales activity. But once we're to a point of actually making an offer, doesn't matter what we're doing, whether we're providing home services, doing auto detailing, or real estate side of things. But once we've made an offer for our services, that's where I would say you need to create an opportunity. And then inside of the opportunity, you can see here we've got a sales pipeline, and we would essentially at that point start with offer or estimate, and then have we sent it, has it been accepted? That's kind of where it would live on the opportunity. And you can adjust or change that based off of the stages right here. And in the opportunity card itself, you would want to put in what is the estimated value of this opportunity. So if you're going to do an auto detail, maybe it's a couple $100. If you're doing home services, maybe a couple $100 or a couple $1,000. And if you're selling a house, buying a house, a couple $1,000, up to whatever that looks like for you. But be the fact that you have an opportunity value, and that it's either open or won. This will show on your pipeline report. So this is kind of telling you have possible revenue that might close down the road, assuming everything goes as it should. If you open up the mobile app, the opportunities and the pipeline value or opportunity value will show up on your mobile app. And that's currently the only way to have that dashboard on the mobile app show a value that you have either pending, won, closed, things of that nature. So that's part of why we recommend that you use the opportunity section when you actually have something that you've made an offer on, under contract closed, etc., and have revenue coming in or already has come in. So that's kind of the differences between running through the contacts. I would say that's where it starts in the sales process. It's a potential lead, a prospect. Get them all the way through your sales process, set up either the phone call or in-person appointment. And then when you're ready to make an offer, go ahead and create that opportunity on the opportunity section. Any more questions around how to or settings, go over to the online community. You can find that under reach and support. Click the button there, ask your questions there for any of that stuff. Weekly Q&A calls on Thursdays on Zoom. That's live for an hour. Any questions you have, we'll screen share, go through things. If you have a broken bug or issue, things not working like it should, create a support ticket by clicking this button. And then if you do have new ideas, go ahead and submit that stuff over here, have your team upvote on it or yourself, and then we'll kind of base that off of what our next thing is that we're going to try to do for upgrades or updates. Once those have been released, changelog, you'll see the new and improvements and how they work, along with some screenshots, videos, things of that nature. Need anything, let us know.